Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. Today is March 20th, and Venezuela are the World Baseball Classic champions. Let's talk about it. Hello, everybody. My name is Steven. This is the middle of the order. How are we doing today, ladies and gentlemen? The World Baseball Classic has come to its end. 2 weeks of great baseball, and it all of a sudden is over. It was a wonderful tournament, a great outcome, and we're going to be talking about the last two games as well as taking a look at some of the stats from the tournament as a whole. It's going to be one of the shorter episodes that we've had here on the podcast for a while because there's not much to talk about. It's two games and then, some stats and highlights, and next thing you know, episode's over. So gear up, stay tuned, get ready for all of that. If you're new here, you like the channel and you like talking baseball with me, please feel free to subscribe, whether you're on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you get your podcast from. I appreciate you being here. Let me know what you thought of the tournament in the comments as well. And with that all being said, let's jump into the second semifinal matchup. Of course, the first one between USA and the Dominican Republic was on Sunday, so we were able to get that into the Monday episode, but this other semifinal matchup was on Monday, so we have to talk about that here right now. It is Italy versus Venezuela. Venezuela trying to knock out Italy after taking down the reigning champs in Japan. Meanwhile, Italy tries to continue their Cinderella run as they look to head to the finals. How crazy could that be? Italy would grab the first lead in this one with a 2-run second inning, a bases loaded walk. And then Dante Nori, he would ground out as a fielder's choice. He beats out the run for the double play that would have prevented that run. That brings home that second run in the inning. Italy's up 2-0 and pitching pretty well in this one. But here comes Eugenio Suarez Gino. He brings some life into Venezuela as he launches a solo shot in the fourth inning that cuts the lead into half. But Italy is still in the lead, and we're getting to the late stages of this game. Could we see Italy face USA in a rematch in the finals? Well, in the seventh, Lone Depot Park got loud. Venezuela ties it up. Ronald Acuna Jr., an RBI single, but if you thought one was enough, well, you were wrong, because not only did Acuna get an RBI single to tie the game, but Mikel Garcia, he ripped a go-ahead single to put Venezuela out and front, and for some insurance, Luis Arias gets his own RBI single as 3 RBI singles scored in the seventh turn it from 2-1 Italy to 4-2 Venezuela as they take the lead in the seventh. Italy, they had some fight in this one. They had a couple of chances to put some more runs on the board, but Venezuela pitching had their numbers as they end up falling short, but still the best tournament in their history. There's nothing to hang your heads about if you're Italy or Italy fans. In this one, Venezuela takes a 4-2 win, and they are heading to their first ever championship match to face the USA. It was a wonderful game, very enjoyable. You could tell the passion and the emotion that was in this game from both sides. Of course, the fans in the stand loud for Venezuela. But yeah, in the end, Italy, I mean, you learn so many of their players' names. Like if you asked me 2 weeks ago who Dante Nori is, who some of these players are, I would say I have little to no clue. Like it was very just different, I guess, for Italy. But this was a fantastic tournament. I mean, Dante Nori, Sam Anatachi, JJ Dorazio, Andrew Fisher. I mean, some of these guys who are either in minor league systems or just, not names that you're so used to. I mean, you learn a lot about Team Italy, and that was kind of the goal, and they had a wonderful tournament. And yes, any loss is upsetting, and obviously, you don't want to end on a loss, but that's how it goes in this style of tournaments and how it goes in all sports, really. But in the end, it was just a joy to watch Italy. They played great, and they should have nothing to be upset about because it was a wonderful tournament for them. On the other end, Venezuela, they head to the championship game. Let's talk about it. USA versus Venezuela. Either the USA would win their second ever WBC title, or Venezuela would win their first. We're in the finals. WBC, it happens so fast. 2 weeks ago, we were just starting. Now we are just ending with one last game as Mets young pitcher Nolan McLean is on the bump for the States, while the veteran man himself, Eduardo Rodriguez, goes on the bump for Team Venezuela. And let's play ball in this championship match. Venezuela, they strike first in the top of the third. A sac fly by Michael Garcia scores the first run of the ball game. And a few innings later, it's Wilyer Abreu who launches another big home run. This one just a solo shot, though. It doubles the lead for Venezuela, though, from 1-2. And USA bats, man, you have all this talent, but they look cold. They've just struggled in the knockout stages. And they can't find an answer to Venezuela. At one point, they showed up a graphic on the broadcast. In their last two games, they were combined 8 for 49 with 20 strikeouts and just 2 runs, both on solo shot home runs from Gunnar and Roman Anthony. So they need to get on the board. They need to find a way to break this spell. But we're getting late into this one. We're already in the 8th inning, and it's still 2-0. I mean, this is a low-scoring championship match here, as they tend to be sometimes. However, it all changes. Bryce Harper with a runner on. He launches the game-tying 2-run home run in the 8th. It brings USA back into the game. It brings some life for Lone Depot. And all of a sudden, from 2-0, the whole game essentially, it is now 2-2. But only for a moment, because if you blink, you would miss it. Luis Arias leads off the 9th. He would walk. They send in pinch runner Javier Sanoa to take a base, and that's exactly what he does as he steals second base. And then Eugenio Suarez has another moment in the WBC as he gaps a ball to left center, easily scoring the go-ahead runner from second, as Venezuela just takes 2 batters to retake the lead, and they just need 3 outs. Daniel Palencia, he comes out for the save of his life. He gets Schwarber to strike out for the first out. He gets Gunnar to pop out to third base for the second out, and with the USA hopes on Roman Anthony's shoulders, he goes down swinging. Venezuela, they've done it. For the first time ever, they are the WBC champions. And USA, on the other end, they've lost back-to-back championship games with a score of 3-2. Unbelievable stuff. I mean, shout out Venezuela, man. What a team. What a job that they've done in this tournament. Yeah, I mean, who would have like not that you would have thought, because like Venezuela is a very good baseball team. They're very good. They have lots of talent. I mean, you look at this talented team and the players that were playing for Venezuela. I mean, you've got Ronald Acuna Jr. at the helm. You have Luis Arias, one of the best contact hitters. You have Eugenio Suarez, one of the best power hitters. You have the unlikely heroes of Wilyer Abreu and Mikel Garcia, who, by the way, was the tournament MVP. That's right, Mikel Garcia, 10 for 26. He had 2 doubles, a home run, 7 RBIs. He had a 385 batting average, a 970 OPS. He was fantastic. I mean, you've got the veteran experience of Wilson Contreras and Andres Jimenez, the captain Salvador Perez. Ezequiel Tovar had some nice hits and some big moments in this tournament as well. Jackson Churio, I mean, he's the young kid that was supposed to be helping out. He was kind of, a little bit lackluster in the tournament overall. Jimenez, you got Gleyber Torres in there. Like, the lineup up and down was so good. This team was well deserving of it. You go flip side onto the pitching. I mean, you just had phenomenal stuff. And like, it was a well-played tournament by Venezuela. You can't say they had an easy run when they had to go through the DR in the pool stages. They had to go through Japan, who they beat. They went through Japan, Italy, and USA. that is no like tough customer, especially with the way Italy was playing in this tournament. Shout out Daniel Palencia, Andres Machado, Emmanuel De Jesus. Like there were some very solid pitching performances there. Ranger Suarez definitely had a struggle stint in the start that he made. But up and down, like it was just a solid effort from a lot of these guys. And it's a well deserved tournament win for Venezuela, their first ever in the history. They join Japan, Dominican Republic, and the United States as the only players to have, or the only team, excuse me, to have ever won a WBC. So congrats to Venezuela, a well earned and well fought tournament victory. We'll flip it over quickly now to take a look at the MLB All WBC team. This is who MLB decided were the best players. They went through, picked 9 position players as they usually do, as well as now 3 starters to kind of highlight their WBC efforts. Starting off with Austin Wells from the DR as the catcher. He hit 2 home runs. He had a 1.086 OPS. Solid tournament outing for him. A couple big homers as well, walk-off mercy rule homers. At first base, they have Luis Arias from Team Venezuela, who put up some great numbers, a 308 batting average, had 10 RBIs in the tournament, a 1.059 OPS. For Luis Arias, that is unheard of. Big shout out to Arias at first base there. At second base, you have Bryce Terang from the States. He had 4 doubles in the tournament. He had a 364 batting average, nothing too crazy, but best of the rest between the second basemen. At third base, the tournament MVP, of course, Mikel Garcia. He picked up 10 hits in the contest, a 385 batting average. He had that home run. He had those RBIs. A great year for him. A great 2 weeks for him. At shortstop, Ezequiel Tovar, also from Team Venezuela. You noticing a trend here? A lot of Venezuelans, a lot of USA players. The 2 teams that were in the finals. Ezequiel Tovar, he had 8 hits. He had a 471 batting average, man. When he was up there, when he was in those games, he was producing absolute great stuff from him. When you take a look at the outfield, shout out Roman Anthony leading the way here. He had 2 home runs. He had a 920 OPS. He was great. Hey, Boston, the Red Sox players in this tournament were very good. You look at Wilyer Abreu for Venezuela, Roman Anthony for the States here. I mean, there were some other guys as well making their names known. Boston's going to be a threat in that AL East. On the other end, you had Fernando Tatis Jr. from the DR. He was probably one of the best players in this tournament. He had 2 home runs. He picked up 11 RBIs, a 1.238 OPS. Sensational stuff from Nando. Other outfielder, Dante Nori from Team Italy. How about that? He picked up a 400 batting average. He had a 1.185 OPS. Shout out Dante Nori. Man, I love that I know your name now. This guy was a baller in the tournament here. The DH, of course, it's Shohei Ohtani from Team Japan, because of course it is. He had 3 home runs and 7 RBIs in his, 5 games. So insane stuff from Shohei. He's going to be a demon for the Dodgers once again. In terms of starting pitching, they highlighted Paul Skeens, Logan Webb, and Aaron Nola. Skeens and Webb from Team USA, and Aaron Nola from Team Italy. Logan Webb, Paul Skeens, they went 8 1/3 and 8 2/3. Logan Webb being the one that went 8 2/3. Both of them gave up 1 run only in the tournament. Aaron Nola, he went 9 innings with 1 run as well. 8 strikeouts for him as well. Aaron Nola, kind of the best pitcher of the tournament overall, I would say. I mean, Webb and Skeens, their stuff is nasty, but you look at the stats, they all gave up 1 run. The only difference is Paul Skeens got 1 less out than Webb, who got 1 less out than Nola. So that's how I view that. But those are what MLB had as the All WBC team. And while I may disagree with some of their picks, I'm going to shout out some of my guys here. Of course, Junior Caminero, he was fantastic for the DR. I don't think that they should have put him in over Mikel Garcia because he's the tournament MVP. But his numbers were on pace to be very good if he got into, 2 more of those games like Garcia did. But yeah, 3 homers for Caminero, 7 RBIs, a 1.259 OPS. He was brilliant. Jaron Duran from Team Mexico. I would have loved to see Mexico get another game or 2 in there, but still, in 4 games, he had 3 home runs. He had a 1.421 OPS. Sensational stuff from Duran. How about Vladimir Guerrero Jr.? I'm kind of surprised they didn't put him in over Arias. I mean, Arias' numbers are insane. He had a couple of homers, big flies, and of course, he was on Team Venezuela, the team that won it all. But Vladdy had 8 hits in the tournament. He had 3 doubles, 2 homers. So he had 5 extra base hits. He had a 1.420 OPS and a 444 batting average in less at bats than Arias did. I mean, Vladdy was probably the snub of the all MLB tournament. I mean, he was fantastic in this. And I'm sure the Blue Jays fans, after having a fantastic postseason run, the way Vladdy's been playing, he's going to be in for a big season. Shout out Bo Gyung Moon. He had 11 RBIs, which I believe was the tournament high, tied with Fernando Tatis. He picked up 2 home runs as well as a 1.464 OPS. A couple of Canadians. Owen Casey. He had 7 hits, 5 RBIs, and a 1.241 OPS. And then his teammate Abraham Toro, 8 hits, 5 RBIs, a 1.318 OPS. Just one extra hit, a little bit more OPS there. But of course, Canada into their first quarterfinals for the first time in their history. It was overall a very good tournament. Once again, some pitchers to shout out as well. Andrea Satoria, of course, from Czechia. I mean, he's always a story and unfortunately won't be next time around, but for these 2 WBCs, these last 2, he's been the highlight for this Czechia team. He pitched 8 1/3 innings pitched. He didn't give up a single run, and he struck out 6 batters. And then also shout out Livian Moninello from Cuba, 7 1/3 innings with 8 strikeouts as well, with no runs given up. Either of those 2 pitchers also deserve some time to be highlighted among the rest of the players. Overall, the WBC was brilliant. I love watching this. It sucks that we're going to have to wait, I believe, until 2030 for the next WBC. Of course, with 2028 being the Olympics, we'll have, that will be its own special event and special contest there. And then 2029 would be the qualifier, and then 2030 would be the next WBC. But yeah, absolute brilliant tournament. And now we look ahead to next week, because today is, of course, the 20th of March, which is a Friday. In a couple days from now, which is on the Monday, the 23rd, we will be doing our predictions episode. I'll be running over MVPs, Rookie of the Year, Cy Youngs. I'll be kind of going over all my division winners that I've already picked in our DOPs, among anything else that needs to be predicted about. And then next thing you know, it will be Wednesday, which will be, opening night. It'll be the Yankees and the Giants, the one single game. And then the following day, it's opening day, and we are here for it. The baseball season is back, man. This is we're now at it. We're a week away now. We've done the whole off-season shebang. We've gone through the trades and the signings and the spring trainings, and now the WBC is in the books. We have gone through everything, and the fact that we're already almost 3 months into the year is crazy, but this is the best time of the year because this is where baseball starts, and there's nothing more than I love than a good baseball season. And with next year's season filled with question marks and who knows what's and whatevers, this is a pretty big season to really enjoy and go out to the ballpark and see your favorite team and see your favorite players and watch the home runs and watch the highlight reel catches and all this stuff and have a hot dog and do you and have that baseball season for your friends and family. It's fantastic. It's the best time of the year. Opening day is next week, ladies and gentlemen. That is going to do it for our episode here today. As I said, going to be a shorter episode. There's only 2 games to go over, a couple of WBC, stat lines to read out. But yeah, overall, a fantastic tournament as it usually has been. I pretty much watched 95% of the games. I maybe missed 1 or 2 games, but I watched every group play game. I watched every, it was very entertaining. A lot of great moments, a lot of grand slams. You had a couple mercy rules, a couple mercy rule walk-offs. You had the first 2 walk-off home runs in the WBC history with Ozzy Albies. Being the first one for the Netherlands team, for Nicaragua, who came so close to their first win. How about Vinny Pasquantino, who hit the first ever 3-homer game in WBC history? So, yeah, a lot of history, a great tournament overall. Super sad to see it go, but it means the baseball season is right around the corner. And that is a long outro for you guys. Ladies and gentlemen, predictions on Monday. Thank you, everybody, so much. And I will see you on Monday.